In the world of Sakamoto Days, there is no shortage of feared assassins. From the insane Takamura to the legendary Sakamoto himself, killers who roam freely in the shadows. But among them, there is one whose presence feels less like a man and more like a demon, bound by betrayal and driven by vengeance. And his name is Kei Uzuki, the leader of the terrorist group called Slur, an organization hell-bent on annihilating the JAA. But to understand why he leads such a team, we first have to understand who Kei Uzuki was before he became an absolute menace. Kei's story begins within the walls of the JAA orphanage, a place where childhood was a luxury and survival was the only lesson that mattered. Here, orphans weren't raised. They were crafted into weapons. And Kei, like the others, learned the art of killing before he even understood the value of life. But despite being shaped by violence, Kei was different. Deep down, he never wanted to kill. But everything changed when Kei was sent on a mission that would alter his life forever. Kei was assigned to infiltrate the JCC, where he met three people who would shape his fate: Sakamoto, Nagumo, and Rion Akao. Together, they were tasked with escorting the chairman's wife and daughter out of Japan. But Kei was always the calm and quiet type. In fact, he was largely against killing, once telling Rion that she should only kill if necessary and avoid it if possible. This led to Rion telling him that he isn't cut out to be an assassin, but later she apologized, admitting she respected him for it. That was the moment their friendship solidified. But even as he grew close to them, Kei carried a secret, a mission that would force him to betray them all. Asaki, one of the high-ranking members of the JAA and Kei's older brother, had orchestrated a coup. He needed the chairman's wife and daughter as leverage to seize control of the organization. And to ensure Kei followed through, he took Gaku and the other orphans hostage. And so Kei was ordered to assassinate Kindaka and capture the chairman's family, or risk the life of his childhood friends. But when Kindaka was poisoned during a previous battle, Kei had to choose between giving him the antidote or putting his friend's life in danger. But in the end, he made a third choice. Kei dropped the antidote, but Kindaka saw right through him. He caught the vial, and instead of saving himself, he used it on Kei, sacrificing himself to keep his former student alive. But Akoa witnessed Kei intentionally dropping the bottle and decides to run after him. Now branded a traitor, Kei is on the run with Rion hot on his heels. But she finally catches up to him, and he ends up telling her his motive for his actions and how he was just trying to protect his friends. So the two decided to go on the run together while planning to go back and rescue Kei's friends from the orphanage. But running doesn't come cheap. With nowhere else to turn, Rion went back to underground assassination. But Kei hated it. He still held on to his principles on unnecessary killing, but she was more pragmatic. They needed the money, but neither of them really backed down. But the plan was still in motion until Asaki found them. He confronts Kei personally while Rion is on a mission, reminding them that they have no place to run, and offers Kei the freedom of his friends in exchange for one last kill. And in a cruel twist of fate, Asaki orchestrated the perfect trap, sending both Kei and Rion on separate missions that led them straight into each other's paths. But by the time he realized the truth, it was too late. Kei found himself facing off against Rion and ended up killing her with his own hands. Her death drove him to the depths of despair, leaving him completely unchained by his previous code of conduct, creating a monster driven by vengeance, rage, and a single goal: the complete destruction of the JAA. And also, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Kei Uzuki's dark past, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.